my garden update number, I think 10. I'm not sure because, and sorry if I haven't made a video in 2 weeks because, well, as you know, school started for me was September 5th, so I had to get all my school supplies and it was just 2 busy weeks, so that's why I didn't have the time, to make a video, but I am now. And don't forget to watch my quick harvest video I did today. And so let's begin. So this is my butchalokia, or butchalokia, and actually they're starting to ripen. Right there you can see this light red color. Some of them also have it, and it started getting darker. The leaves, because it was a little lighter, but now it's starting. The new leaves are starting to get darker. This is my pepperoncini from the raised bed. I didn't have a place for it, so I planted it in this small pot, and it grew up, and up, and it got very big. It has very nice pepperoncini peppers, and it's very dark. This is probably the darkest plant I have all the plants. This is my sweet 100 that goes up, and up. And my goal is for it to reach the top of that. So we'll see. So yeah, this is the sweet 100. It looks a little empty here, but I cut off all the dead leaves here. So, oh, that black thing, that's the case for the apple I'm holding it. But this is my lettuce. I have fall crops. I have 2 lettuce baskets. One there and here. This is the bark crunch lettuce, I think. And as you can see, it's grown very nicely. Now the beans are a little leggy, but someone's been eating it, but that's the end of the season, so I really don't care. Oh look! Where is it? Oh look. A ladybug. Oh, it's like orangish brownish. It's cool. Okay, so here we'll yeah. So next I have the black seed Simpson lettuce right here, which is doing great because it was growing slowly, and then it just started growing. So it's very thick. And then my eggplant. This is the first one I planted. It's doing great also. It has some eggplants, but these are smaller ones, tiny ones, even tiny ones. And then I have other pepperoncini plant, which isn't doing as good as the one over there, but it's doing good. And some of them are turning red, and I actually like them better red than green. And the jalapenos, some of them, as you can see, it has turned red, but yeah, we don't eat them as often because they're actually very hot. Then let's start here. That's the grapefruit, sending out some new leaves slowly, but this. Then my orange, and another grapefruit, and my desert rose has thickened its stem, I think, or trunk. This doesn't look like a stem, it looks like a trunk. Oh, and then I think this is the other orange, small tree. And I made my grow room that I showed that in the winter. In last winter I showed you that I kept all of my plants, and I didn't make it. Well, I made on the shelves, I put up lights, the long lights I did for my seedlings, and I made like the walls with like aluminum foil. And I'll show you in the future all of the oranges, the dragon fruit that has to go that can't survive in the cold. So we'll be going in there. So this is my pahoa, which is actually very huge, and it's its stem is starting to get woody, and it's growing, sending out side shoots. You can see, and it's actually started growing faster. Then my smaller pineapple, and bigger pineapple also growing slowly. And the cotton has its first true leaves, because this is the second time you see it. Oops, sorry. The first time you saw it was the little black seeds, and now you can see those little plants. I think I might have to separate them because I think this plant is taking all the nutrients and this one isn't a little. So then I planted this tomato, the Hawaiian pineapple tomato, from the seeds I got from Trade Winds Fruit. And I think I might make a video because I ordered a lot of seeds from Grow Organic and Trade Winds Fruit because they're having a sale. So if you want some seeds, go check it out. So this is a Hawaiian pineapple tomato. It's a very beautiful tomato. I think it's a beefsteak. It gets very big and it has a slightish taste of a pineapple. So yeah, oops. Then these are my strawberry cuttings. And here I planted the micro tom tomato from Trade Winds Fruit, but it's been like weeks and weeks and still nothing. So I don't know, I might plant them again. And if you watched my harvest video, you might be wondering what these are. These are husk cherries. Husk cherries. They look like mini tomatillos. I have 3 of them. One in here, and I think there's 2 more coming, but yeah, there's one right there also, and then another one is coming up. And these seeds I got from our farmers market we always have on Saturdays, and they have a little box full of husk cherries, and you could taste one. So I tasted one, and then I saw the seeds, so I took 3 of them, and I liked them, the husk cherries. So I took 3 seeds and I planted, and they came up. They're very small right now. And then these 2 are my lychees that I also got in Chinatown, but one came up, but the tip got a little dry. But I dug it up to see if there's anything new coming up, and there's a new stem, so we'll see if it comes up. It should, but. And then this is another one, but then it's not grown yet. And I showed you the eggplant. Now let's go to the raised bed. Oh, and I got a bag of soil. Well, I think you saw it in my other videos, but this is the soil I mainly use. It's the Hampton's Estate Professional Pine Mix, pure, natural, and organic. With organic fertilizer and running agent. And this soil is really good. It's nice and dry and fluffy. It has some perlite. Very good soil. I would recommend this. This I bought at my local nursery. Well, not really local. I have to drive there for like 10 minutes, but it's worth it. So, yes, I recommend buying the soil if you have a nursery. Well, if they have it, but. And then my tomatoes. You can see there are no tomatoes because they fell over, because at the end of the season the bamboo, probably from all the weight from the tomatoes and the plant and the probably from all the rain, got soaked up all the water and it snapped. The plants are still okay. They didn't break. They're just leaning over. So but I'm not taking them up again because, as I said, it's the end of season. So, but they're producing tomatoes all over. They're doing great. And this is a weed. Yes, it is. So I'll have to pull that up. But okay, let's move on. The stevia is flowering. You can see beautiful little, tiny little flowers. And this is Luke's basil. I've been saving the seeds. As you can see, I've picked most of these, but there's still some. And then, oops, there's more basil I have, and then more tomatoes. These ones are a little still staying up, but they're about to fall too. And a basil came up probably from the seeds that fell, and it sprouted. And the chives are doing okay. Parsley, okay also. So these are my 2 green zebra tomatoes. I like the way they produce, and the plants are beautiful plants, and they have a very thick stem. They got a very thick stem. So I like that, but the only thing I do not like about them is that they do get, most of them get blossom end rot, so that's the only thing I don't like. But the tomato is beautiful. The flavor is a little dull, I think, if you could say that. And because it doesn't have a lot of flavor, it's not that juicy. It's a little more on the dry side, but it's a beautiful plant and beautiful tomato. And it's very easy to grow. Just throw in some soil, fertilizer with organic fertilizer, some bamboo stakes, and this one I had to use one of these sturdy big ones because all tomatoes it gets. You can see, look at the colors are beautiful because now it looks like white and green, and when the ripe ones are, the white turns into yellow. It's very good. And then these are not doing too great, but they don't have a lot of the leaves, but they're still producing these. These are the yellow cherry tomatoes, and this is the gardener's light cherry tomato. And this is my basil, which is, I don't know, this year my basil is doing great. And the end of the year is just nice and green and bushy, and this is even, it's not even a big pot. It's just this little pot I had left over, and I thought I'll plant my basil. Well, it's doing great. No, it's hot outside, but the sun is setting, so let's see. The sage is doing great. What I love about sage is that if you just do it this one time, and then you smell your hand, it smells almost like a pizza. But I can always go to the carrots, which are doing great. This is the big one. I'm going to show you. You probably can't tell the size right now, but when I pull it up, I might make a video, but I don't know. I've been thinning them out, and we got little carrots. They were good, but they're small. This is the biggest one. I can't wait to pull it up, but I'm waiting for the first frost so I can pull it up. But so this is my Chinese lantern, and you can see it has little Chinese. This is not edible. This is a perennial flower that gets these little Chinese lantern things, and it turns red, and they turn like papery, but they're not edible or anything, just for decoration, and it's a perennial. I said that, but so I might bring it inside, but see. Then this is my asparagus. I think these are flower buds right there, and if you know, I think those are flower buds, but see. And the asparagus is getting on that noise. I think you just heard that was our air conditioning I turned on, but the asparagus is getting bigger. See, it's almost about a half of a pencil thickness. The cilantro's growing. Okay, I could say then. Where is this? These are ending, but I think it has more flowers coming. The flower, as you can see, the flower petals just fall off if you touch it. Oops. I'll need to sweep that up. This is another pepper I had from the raised bed. And it's peppers. Oh, I didn't even notice these. Okay, that's good. And my tortilla also is leaning over, but as I said 2 times already, it's the end of the season, so get that. And then this is the yellow flower. I don't know, but this is that snapped in half in the storm. But really, this is, well, that's just huge. The trunk, it's like a tree trunk almost. This last year was almost, I don't know, it was very big, like 3 feet tall, and this year it's like 6 or 7 feet tall. It's huge. It's been breaking a lot, so I had to tie it up with everything I could. I found this thing, the snow thing. I don't know what it is, but I found it to keep it staked up. And in the morning, it has these little yellow flowers, but in the evening they close up and dry up. And sometimes they smell like almost like lemon pie. So And this came back from last year, so. And my plumeria has a color flower coming. Right there, that is the flower. Right here. Oops. This little nub, that's a flower coming up. And this is the colorful rainbow color. Plumeria so has the pinks, the yellows, oranges, whites, everything. That one. And our coleus has really been really huge. Well, some of the leaves are just huge, like the size of my hand. Yes, we were planning on having this plant right here to be the center plant, but well, the coleus took over. But a lot of people walk by and they say they like the coleus. So. And the bougainvillea, I've been pinching off the tips like I read online, so to promote new growth, because it flowers and new growths. So it's growing, we'll see flowers. And then and this coleus also is huge. And as you can see, we moved the coleus from there to one here, and then one there instead of the bushes we have right there, because they were just getting too big. We couldn't walk getting in. And these are nice. I like these. They look nice. I don't know what they're called, but. And the grape we moved under their pear tree, which we collected all the pears. Also the squirrels ate most of them, and the birds and the rabbits. But the grape, we picked all the grapes. They were good. Some of them were a little sour, some of them were sweet. Starting to dry up. But yeah, so I'm going to show you now the front garden and also the garden. This is going to be quick. So as you can see, the watermelon, I guess I cut back all the other stems coming out and just left this one, so all the energy goes into this one. But we had two, but one started rotting, so this is the only, again, big and heavy. I can't lift it with one hand, but I think maybe something's because it feels a little soft here and a little brown, but I'm hoping this one gets ripe. That should. Also, and this is another sweet 100. I've picked off all the tomatoes, so there is no red tomatoes on. And then this is this is the other watermelon. But I don't think if it produces watermelons, I don't think it will be enough time for it to ripen up. This is the orange cherry tomatoes. And my sweet 100 is starting to dry up. I don't know. The stems just starting to dry up, like here. And the tomatoes are getting really small. Some of them are, look at this. These are just tiny tomatoes. Here, I'll pick one up and show it to normal size. Here, normal size and tiny. Oops. Oh, so yeah, that's it. The hanging baskets, I fertilize them, cut them back like plants and things. Plants and things said. Oh, and also we had a praying mantis on. It was on the tomatoes right here, on the sweet 100. And then it flew over to these hanging baskets. And the hanging baskets are doing great. The hydrangea turned pink from blue. It was blue, now it turned pink. Up there, the angel shrimpers are flying nicely, smelling wonderfully. This is it was a pansy, as you can see, but a petunia came up there, which is good. And right here I have some pansies and petunias. And this is a cypress vine. If you don't know what it is, just look it up, and it's a beautiful flower. But now they're closed, they only open up in the morning. They're like little stars. That's a vine. It reminds me of Christmas when I see it. It's like dark green and little red flowers. So yeah, so that's it for the update. Hope you enjoyed it, and sorry again if I didn't make a video. Just love cars. So yeah, so see you next time. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to go organic. See you.